Blue hole, first it was discovered by the local fishermen. They used to come in this area here in this atoll, which is Lighthouse Reef, and they used to fish in this area here. And they discovered that in all this turquoise water, there's this deep blue area. Then in the early 70s, Jacques Cousteau came and he explored it. He came here with his boat called the Calypso in 1970. He came, he explored the blue hole, he went down with all those top-notch gadgets at that time, and he went into the blue hole with his sub, and he discovered that the blue hole has a depth of about 480 feet approximately, right at the center of the blue hole. And history of it is also that it used to be an underground cave about 300 feet above sea level. They say that shifting of the plates allowed the roof of this cave to cave in, leaving what's now this hole. So thousands and thousands of years ago, this whole area here was dry land, but now it's all covered with water. Because it used to be a cave system and now it's all covered with water, we know that whenever we have a cave system and fresh water leaking from the ceilings of it, it forms what we call stalactites and stalagmites, right? Here in the blue hole, divers come to experience some of the hugest and the biggest stalactites that you will find in the world when it comes to scuba diving. These stalactites, history says that it takes approximately about 100 years for 1 inch to grow. These ones here are about 40 to 60 feet in length.
Wow.
And about 6 to 8 feet in diameter, so they're very prehistoric. The stalactites on the north side, you will find the stalactites that come from the roof. Here on the south side, where pretty much everybody chooses to dive for the reason that you can see both the stalactites and the stalagmites. And this area, this side here is also very neat because of the sharks and stuff that hang out in this deep hole. You will notice that under the boat it's very shallow. Right at the rim of the blue hole that you're seeing, it starts in about 15 feet and then there's a sandy slope that goes down to about 55 feet. After 55 feet, we then have a sheer limestone wall that goes down to about 90 feet. After 90 feet, we then start heading under the remainder of the roof, cruising among the huge stalactite and stalagmite formations, okay? Now, when we're cruising through these stalagmite and stalagmite formation, you will notice that they're so huge, they're very prehistoric, so you'll be like in an ancient time. But here it's gonna feel like maybe you're gliding in space, just floating in the abyss all below you,
wow,
which gives you an awesome feeling.
And at
man.
what depth do we begin to encounter?
Once we get under the roof, you'll see that it starts in about 90 feet where the roof is hanging, and these stalagmites, they hang down all the way down to like about 140 feet. So it's gonna be very important for you to monitor your depth gauge, make sure you do not exceed your planned depth. It's gonna be easy for you to do that. Easy, man. You'll get so blown away, so carried away once you start seeing these stalactite and stalagmite formations that if you're not looking at your gauge, you can go a little deeper, all right?